Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me for this, just one ear in this, and quite an interesting one. There's the start of a very little erosion in this ear, which you'll see at the end. But first, we've got to get this out. Now, this was a youngish lady in her 30s, and I'm always a bit suspicious when it looks a bit mushy at the bottom of the ear. Like it did on this one, when you see this like white, freshly shed skin that's just gone a little bit soggy. It's always a little curious when that happens, and it always pays to be curious, to often wonder about things, and you'll see why. You get a gut feeling. I mean, with gut feelings, you get comes with experience of what you might find in a certain situation. So there is an element of suspicion based on experience and knowledge, and that was certainly the case with this lady's ear. Now, it was quite firm, this, so I thought the best way to actually get this, I've lifted it up with the suction, but I thought the best way to get it moving a bit quicker was to get the Ricurette in there. I thought it was firmish, but you scooped through a little bit. But I think the curette worked for pretty much all of this, to be honest. Just need to get it in a bit deeper behind there. Not the largest ear to get entrance to, but comes out quite nicely. And before I forget, subscriber of the day today is Wendy Steinberg. Many thanks for being a valued subscriber, Wendy. I really appreciate your support. And if you want that to be you, you know what to do. It's rhyming, isn't it? I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Just subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment that says, I would love to be a subscriber of the day, and maybe one day it will be you. So after we've brought some of that forward, you can see it releases a bit of humidity in this ear, so that's why the camera's gone a bit blurry. It's nothing to do with the camera work, or I'm not focused it properly. You get a bit of condensation on the camera, but that's it. With the torch on the endoscope with the light in it, that often dies down eventually, which it has done there. And a bit darker at the back end of this plug, which we'll just scoop out there. And I was still a little bit suspicious at this point. Now, what was really sparking my suspicion was a little area on the right hand side. You can see the yellowy white just collection of dead skin on there. Always a good idea for any other specialist watching, if you see a little yellowy white soggy area on the skin of the ear canal, to just have a look underneath it, just see what you can find, because more often than not you probably will find something, and that was the case in here. It wasn't a major erosion, don't get me wrong, but if you leave that there, then what can tend to happen, because there's lots of reasons why you can get tiny little erosions in ears, and one of them can be do with getting a poor blood supply in there. Another one can be the pressure of the plug in there can push against this. It's kind of similar to a lot of other wounds that I used to deal with when I was a community nurse, a district nurse, the old-fashioned name for it, and used to deal with a lot of wounds, lots of leg ulcers, pressure ulcers. And pressure ulcers, I mean, you can get them anywhere, pressure ulcers. You'd be quite surprised the places that I've found them. So it's this area here I'm a bit concerned with. The most common place is on the sacrum, on the bottom. And it always happens because obviously someone sat on it for too long. There may be a little bony, a little slim. And the sacrum bone is when you sat on it, you're kind of restricting the blood supply to that area. So what happens is, because it's not getting a blood supply, then that tissue breaks down, eventually forms a wound. And I've seen some that you can literally stick your fist in, not that you would, but I've seen some horrific ones. More other common places, the heel, when people put their heels up because that's obviously quite bony and not a lot of fatty tissue on it. So in theory, you can get the same issue in the ear. If you've got something pressing on it, it restricts the blood flow to that area. What's also quite common is we used to deal with a lot of what you call moisture lesions. And if you've not heard of that before, especially wounds caused by moisture, if there's a particularly sweaty or damp area, used to get these quite a lot in the, what's the best way to describe it as well? It's called the natal cleft, the bum crack. It obviously collects quite a bit of sweat in there and the people are sat on it, and that moisture can lead to a breakdown of the skin. And that can happen here too. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't get something like that in here, because bugs, bacteria, they love moist areas, and so that can in theory happen in the ear as well. A lot of the time you'll never actually know what caused an erosion, but the main thing is to find them first and then refer them on to the specialists. I don't think this one is anything too much to worry about, but you can already see after I've peeled away that little dead soggy skin, it's not pink there, so there's a little erosion there. Now I was just trying to peel away a little bit more there, and the patient said they could feel that. So it was at that point that it's a very good idea to stop. So that's what I was doing, and I think I'm just pausing there as I'm just taking a still image of it, and then I can send it on and get it investigated. I'm sure that one will probably be okay. I'm not too concerned about it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.